So what I wanted to bring to the table was how the relationship between the parents impact our children.
Mm.
Um, this is one that's very like near and dear to my heart, especially because the environment that I grew up in. Um, I didn't have. I only grew up with my mom, and my mom always had different boyfriends. And my mom isn't a person that is a good communicator almost at all. At least when I was a kid, she's a lot better now, so I'll give her some kudos for that. But um, they used to have these really really nasty fights all the time. I used to watch my mom get beat on. My sister and I, we're the two older siblings, and then I have a younger brother. But my sister and I used to get into fights with her boyfriends and things of that nature, whether it was to stop them from beating on her or beating on us, that kind of thing. But I never noticed how that affected me until I became an adult. And the first time I ever noticed it was I got into a really, really bad argument with my girlfriend at the time, but she is now my wife. Um, and I got, I all I could see was red, and I didn't put my hands on her, but the way that I talked to her, I crossed the line, and ultimately I tried to leave. Well, after I crossed the line, I got shoved into the wall, and she put me through the wall. Like the outline of my ass had bust through the wall because she pushed me so hard. And this is where like I had realized that like I was having an issue dealing with just my anger and my anger within having conflict. And later on in life, we had another big argument. And this time, my children, I have multiple children now. I have all of them now. At the time, my son was only a couple months old, so he doesn't remember this. But now we're talking about 3 years ago. So all of my children were here. And I got into this one really, really bad argument with my wife. And I, I ripped a banister off the wall. I broke our vacuum cleaner from kicking it. And I also broke like an electric like heater, electric space heater in the process of leaving the house and storming out because I was so frustrated. And my wife told me that my son said something to her after I had left and she was crying. And essentially, I realized in that moment that I had left my child son to console my wife in a time of emotional need. And it took for me to get to that point to realize that my behavior in our relationship was affecting my children. And not only my children, but the way that they see us, see me, and are going to think this is what a relationship looks like, much like how it turned out for me. And I had to do, I went to therapy for 2 years to start working through being able to process my anger and being a better communicator so that way I wouldn't continue the cycle that I had to endure as a child and then ultimately into my young adulthood. Um, so I say all that to say, I'm not sure if anybody's had like conflict with their significant other, but our children are always watching
Yes.
and they're always listening. And we have to be mindful of that in moments where we're having our normal human emotions, even if they're big emotions, but they're always watching and they're always listening. So I
Yeah.
really